You are watching Tomorrowpictures.TV.
I'm sorry if I looked up. I heard a noise. I thought I heard a noise. Yeah.
I didn't hear.
This had a very direct effect on my life at that time. I got very scared. I kind of isolated. When I finally did get the results that I was negative, I pretty much decided to go back to upstate New York, go to college up there, get a degree, and then try to figure out what to do. However, when I got up there, I ended up not going to school. I ended up working at a TGI Fridays as a cook. And it actually was really nice. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple of people that were gay, openly gay. More were lesbians than actually males, but I was accepted and I was able to be open, so I was able to start to really find myself. However, the one thing that happened was after about an 8-month period, there was a management change, and he was very homophobic. And I was starting to get like sexual abuse, and that, not sexual abuse physically, but as far as character-wise and that type of situation.
Well, I'll start down with the Q first. Queer is basically an umbrella term to identify folks who may be lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans, but fall outside of the normativity standards that mainstream gay and lesbian politics falls under. We are basically trying to dismantle the things we have issues with in society. So I think it's always really important to label myself as queer so that I identify my community and my community sees me as I am. And I'm also a transgender. I am transmasculine. I was born female assigned at birth, and I have medically transitioned to be a man. And person of color is I'm mixed race. I self-identify as Black, but it's very important for my identity to also make sure that people know that I am a person of color, as my experiences are very different based upon that.
In this country, we have a lot of depression and anxiety, as I've suffered over the years myself, and have seen, in my background in psychology as well. And I'm amazed that we have so few concerns in comparison to people in other countries, yet we're so depressed and anxious all the time because we're thinking about what it is that we're missing for some reason, because we're aware of what the next person has that they have more than us. But people in other countries are really living in the moment and focused on what's important, which is their time with each other, their relationships with each other and with God, and they have joy and they have peace. And that's what I found for myself there. So I came back changed, in that I don't worry so much about the little things. If my internet goes down, for example, for a day, I'm not going to be stressed out about it. I'm not going to be stressed about what piece of clothing I need or what technology I need, and spend more time focusing on people.
I had stopped at a gas station where I encountered one of my old high school buddies. He said, "When did you come back to upstate New York?" And I said, "I've been up here for like 8 months," and told him that I was working at Fridays or whatever. And at that point, he had turned to me and goes, "Oh, I hear there's some guy that has AIDS there." So I kind of stopped, and I was like, okay, I know exactly what was happening. Someone was spreading rumors about me. So at this point, no one in my family knew that I was gay. Friends did. But I didn't want my family to find out the way that, that rumors up there spread really quickly. So I had come out to my family, and it was very discomforting, I guess. They didn't know how to react, especially with the situation that I told them that, I had this AIDS scare, and that's why I'd come up, and, I explained the whole situation to them. And it just was kind of like they kind of kept their distance or whatever. Shortly after that, I decided to move back to New York City.
Out of all the deployments that I've been on, I would have to say the one that I really cut my teeth on was Iraq, 2002. And I think there were a lot of factors that had to deal with that. And if I may, the one factor that I remember is, it's funny, all of the experiences that I've had and I've learned, that was the defining moment for me. It was the first time that I was really going to be face to face with the enemy. It was the first time that I could remember getting off the plane in Kuwait and the heat that we felt, 125, 135 degrees, with 50, 60 pounds of gear on your back. I could remember instantly, I remember where we landed at the time in Camp Udari in Kuwait, where I saw thousands of tanks and thousands of people, and I remember the expressions on their faces. I remember when we landed, there wasn't a sound on the plane. We had our weapons under our seats on the plane, and I remember as we got off, you can just hear the sounds of equipment everywhere, tanks moving, troops movements, helicopters in the air. It was definitely different. It was without a doubt different. I would have to say 2002, and given the mindset of the country as well. After 9/11, we were in January, boots on the ground. 2002, we hit the ground.
Excellent. I'm really glad you brought it, because that means that's a time period where the country it's really scary, and Iraq comes in.
You are watching Tomorrowpictures.TV.